asshole for my response when my sister's husband commented on my husband's manhood? No. I don't even need to know what he said. No. My husband has been sick for a few months now and recently had surgery. My parents hosted a dinner for him and invited the whole family. My sister's husband, Mike, is a tell it as it is type of man. Basically, the brutally honest type. My sister says that she loves him for his honesty, but because of it, we've had issues in the past. After dinner, we were sitting down while my husband was in another room. He was getting some rest. Mike looked at me and asked if my husband was still good in bed because he had read that when men get sick, their performance would get lower. That's not strange at all. Why, of all the things you could be concerned about a man that's been sick for months, is it if he's bedding his wife in a pleasurable manner? That's not weird at all. Everyone was looking at me in silence. It was absolutely awkward. My sister smiled at me as a sign to let it go, but instead I responded, well, at least better than men who can't even impregnate their women. Shots fucking fired. OP said, you go low, I go to hell. Now this is where I might be the asshole. Mike and my sister have suffered from infertility for 10 years, and it's on Mike's side. This response caused a huge argument, and although Mike stormed off and didn't say anything, my sister went off on me, calling me abhorrent and shaming me for going low and using her husband's infertility against him. You mean like he was literally using your husband's sickness against him? So he can call out shit about your husband, but when you call out shit about him, that's too fucking low. You can't do that. Then he should keep his fucking mouth shut. You were just being brutally honest. I thought that was the type of thing that he liked. I told my sister he insulted my husband's manhood, but she said I took this whole thing out of context and made it personal since he was just talking about men in general, but he specifically asked her about her husband. Is your husband still good in bed? Was the first half of that statement, because I heard that when men get sick, their performance suffers, was the second half. He specifically asked you about your fucking husband. He could have kept his fucking mouth shut. Now we both made low blows. Only thing is, I came out on top and you stormed off like a toddler. After the argument, she and Mike both left, and my mom demanded that I apologize. My husband didn't even know what we were arguing about. My mom told him that I was arguing with my sister over dessert. My mom said that I was in the wrong for hurting my sister's feelings with what I said and told me to apologize, but I still refuse. Am I the asshole? Personally, me, I don't think you're the asshole. I completely understand how this is a sensitive subject for your sister and your brother-in-law, but he stepped over the fucking line by questioning your husband's manhood, asking questions about things that are none of his fucking business. How often does he worry about your husband's performance in the bedroom? Is this something that he thinks about a lot? Has he been doing research on this? Is he concerned or is he projecting? Because that's what I'm feeling. I feel like because of his lack in the bedroom, he's got to find somebody else to bring down. That way he don't feel like he's in the low and in the gutter by his lonesome. All you did was give him an inappropriate response to an inappropriate fucking question. Because no normal person in their right mind, no normal person would be worrying about what goes down in the bedroom with their sister-in-law while their brother-in-law is sick, has been sick for months, and recently had surgery. Out of all the things you could be concerned about for your brother-in-law, his performance in the bedroom is what topped the list? Nah. If he didn't want jabs to be thrown back at him, he shouldn't have fucking said anything. Your mom sucks because she's expecting you to apologize to your sister for hurting her feelings by stating something that's really sensitive to her, but your sister sat there and heard what the fuck her husband said, looked at you and tried to send you signals to let it go, never once opened her fucking mouth to say anything. She don't give a fuck if your feelings are hurt, but you're supposed to give a fuck about your sister's feelings. I would never extend courtesy to someone who will never bother to do the same thing for me. Somebody left a comment in the comment section, and before seeing it, I would have never thought about it. But after reading about the type of man that this guy is, I could get behind this theory. They said he was literally asking to plant the idea of him doing her a favor in her sick husband's absence. If she had said that her husband wasn't performing satisfactorily, he would have jokingly offered his services. And I 100% can get behind that. He's 100% that guy that would say something out of pocket offhand and then try to brush it off as a joke. You are wound too tight. Lighten up. I was just joking. I could get behind this theory. Am I the asshole for not explicitly stating my punch was non-alcoholic? I, 25 female, recently attended a potluck-style work party, and I brought punch, which has since caused a problem between myself and another coworker, 42 female. We'll call her Sandy. Last week, my boss hosted a party at his house to celebrate the end of a busy season and a job well done. All of my coworkers and their spouses were invited. We decided it would work well to do a potluck to offset the cost of feeding everyone, about 35 people, since not everyone who came brought a spouse or a significant other. I volunteered to make a punch that I've brought to previous work events that everyone said they enjoyed, as well as some fruit to go with it. This was a casual party with alcohol present, but since I have some coworkers who don't drink, I didn't add any alcohol to this punch, and I figured that if people really wanted some, they'd add it themselves. Which one of your coworkers drunk the non-alcoholic punch and claimed to be drunk? No, you're not the asshole. Fast forward a couple hours, and Sandy is getting even louder and more dramatic than normal and stumbling around the party. I don't think much of it, and I figured she brought her own drinks or was adding some of the host alcohol that was put out into something else. She suddenly fell off the chair she was sitting on and made a big show of saying that it's because she was so drunk. She then asked me in front of the rest of our coworkers, what was it that I put in the punch? Bitch, juice? A whole lot of fucking juice? I was confused and I told her what was in it. Just a mix of ginger ale, 7-Up, juice, and a can of juice concentrate. Fucking juice? Like I said, she wanted to know what alcohol I put in it because she's been drinking it all night and is really feeling it. I told her that I didn't put any alcohol in it and asked if maybe someone else had spiked the punch bowl. No one said they added alcohol to anything. One of my coworkers who doesn't drink even said that they'd been drinking the punch all evening and they were still completely sober. Fucking Sandy. Sandy Bigelow Patterson. Not you pretending to be drunk at a work event. Attention whore much? Girl, if you don't grow up. I would also like to clarify that I understand how context can matter. Like if everyone else was really drunk, then that can make an even sober person feel like they're loaded. But that definitely was not the vibe. Sandy was the only person acting drunk. She then got really quiet and went by herself to the bathroom. The rest of my coworkers and I exchanged some awkward glances and tried to laugh it off. She left shortly after, and I received an angry text from her about how I shouldn't have embarrassed her like this. Fucking Sandy. Miss Bigelow Patterson, if you don't knock it the fuck off, you embarrassed yourself. You were at a work party, stumbling around and falling off of your chair. Nobody embarrassed you, baby girl. You did a bang-up job of doing that all on your fucking own. And I know good and goddamn well you didn't think OP was going to feed into the delusion of you being drunk simply because you wanted all the attention of everybody in the room. Girl, how old are we? You need to knock it the fuck off. She said that now she looks like an idiot in front of our bosses and the rest of our coworkers. Whose fault is that? That's nobody's fault but your own. You were stumbling around being loud and dramatic as fuck at a work event where all of your bosses and coworkers were present. You truly think they're side-eyeing you because OP stated there was no alcohol in the fucking punch? Even if there were, you still would have been held accountable for your fucking actions. You are a grown-ass woman that got sloppy drunk at a work party. This is nobody's fault but your own. The fact that you were sober and you were making it up is just fucking hilarious. All the embarrassment came from your fucking actions, toots. She's been hostile to me at work ever since and is basically refusing to talk to me. I don't think I did anything wrong, and most of my coworkers agree with me. But some say that I should have just let her go on thinking that the punch was alcoholic to save her the embarrassment. And I'm wondering now if I'm in the wrong. Am I the asshole? No, you're not the asshole. And your coworkers that are telling you that you should have just let her go on with her delusion are fucking stupid. Because were they not there when she specifically called you out in front of the entire fucking group and asked you what's in the punch? Like, did they not hear that part? Were they not there? Were they in the bathroom? What, were they themselves fucking drunk to the point that they don't recall this actually happening? She tried to pass the shit off on you to make it seem like it's your fault that a grown-ass woman was drunk at a work party. All you did was answer her question. It's not your fault that your answer was not what the fuck she expected to hear. The part that makes me giggle is the fact that she is more angry at you for not walking in the house like, hey, y'all, non-alcoholic punch in the house, than she is at the coworker that didn't have to say anything, but chose to speak up and say, I've been drinking that same punch and I'm not drunk. Why is she not mad at them for just confirming the fact that there was no possible way she could be drunk from your juice? Why is it your responsibility to walk into a room full of adults and announce, this is just juice, guys? I've always wanted to have a party and like make jungle juice, but hold the alcohol and not tell anybody, and see how many people end up intoxicated and try to blame their actions on because the fact they were drunk. Yeah. Does that make me an asshole? Yeah.